Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24 on the PC. Today we are going back to 2012 to rebuild the Cincinnati Bengals. That is right, this is a user suggestion. Somebody in the comments of one of my previous videos suggested either 2012, 2015 for the Cincinnati Bengals. I've chosen 2012 because I think this is a more interesting time period for them, because AJ Green is obviously a little bit younger, so that's going to help us out a little bit. This is going to be very, very exciting. I'm excited to build with some of these young Bengal players that I grew up watching. So this is my era of NFL football, like 2007, 2008 to 2000 and I'd say probably 14, 15 is probably like the era of NFL where I was like really, really in it with the video game, with Madden obviously, and with watching it. So this is right in that time period. So I'm super excited. Obviously, we've previously done a modern-day Cincinnati Bengal rebuild where we won a championship, multiple championships actually, with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all the boys on the current-day squad. Now we're going back over a decade to try to rebuild the Bengals back when they had Marvin Lewis, when they had a mediocre squad at times, made the playoffs a bunch of times, but never really won anything when they made it. Maybe we can change that. If you guys go to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Leave your suggestions down below in the comments of this video and any other video for future teams you want to see me rebuild in 2012, in 2015, in the modern day, in 1994, or in college football. And without further ado, it's time to rebuild the 2012 Cincinnati Bengals. This is our roster for year number 1. I've clicked the wrong button. Andy Donald. Andy Donald? Andy Dalton is what I wanted to say. I was, for some reason, thinking of Aaron Donald. I don't know why. Andy Dalton is our guy. I don't know why the jersey's not showing up for him. It seems to be a little bit glitched, but that's okay. 24-year-old, second-year player out of TCU. The Red Rifle has arrived in Cincinnati, and I'm hoping he can be our future quarterback. I don't know. We'll have to see. He is 75 overall, but he's playing up to a 75. He has the potential to be the guy, but we'll have to wait and see on that. AJ Green. It seems like the jerseys are all going to be like that. It looks like they have the stripes, but they're all grayed out. I don't know what's going on with it. It's whatever. But the Cincinnati Bengals are the team that we're taking over, and AJ Green is the main reason why I wanted to do this, because he is 24 years old, and he is a freaking stud. So good. So talented. Other players that we have, Mohamed Sanu, we have a young Marvin Jones, we have Brandon Tate, we have Benjarvis Green-Ellis. Some interesting players in the offense. Obviously, we have the legendary Andrew Whitworth. We have Kevin Zeitler as a rookie. We have Andre Smith, I think is what his name is. So the offensive line's looking pretty good. We really only need to work on the left guard center spot, and we should be pretty good there. Then we have Jermaine Gresham, who hopefully we can turn out to be a very, very good player. Only 24 years old as well. So we know what happened to him in real life. Didn't really pan out, but he could be solid for us in this. And then on the defense, it's a much more interesting story. There's not a whole lot to work with here, but there are if you look deep enough. We have Carlos Dunlap, who is a 2-year guy out of Florida. If he can develop alongside Geno Atkins, we can really make some magic happen there. We have Damatel Pecco. We have Ray Malaluga on the middle linebacking core, who is 25 years old, so that's going to be useful. But there is one guy that I want you guys to know about. You obviously know about him a lot. It's Vontaze Burfict. That's right, he's here, and he's going to wreak havoc to Antonio Brown every single game. I want to try to develop Vontaze Burfict because of the memes. We'll see how it goes. He's a 52 overall, so it's going to be pretty difficult, but he should develop a little bit. We have Taylor Mays, we have Reggie Nelson, George Iloka is there, Terrence Newman, legendary corner of the modern era, Leon Hall, Pac-Man's down there. So we've got some guys, that's for sure. We've got some guys. It's going to take a little bit of time to develop these guys. We're certainly not going to be good year number 1, but we've got some opportunities in the future, starting with the 2013 NFL draft class If I can find it. There it is. The 2013 NFL Draft is the first one. We're not going to go quarterback in this one because we don't need to. We got Andy Dalton, and we want to give him a fair shot. Running back, we certainly could think about. Gio Bernard is obviously who they had in real life, but maybe we want to go a different direction. Maybe we want to go Monty Ball. Maybe we want to go Eddie Lacy. I don't know. Latavius Murray's down here. There's a couple different options. Rex Burkhead, Theo Riddick. There's some guys. I'll put Juszczyk on there. We're probably not going to get him. Maybe we will. Wide receivers. Tavon Austin would be awesome. DeAndre Hopkins, Cordell Patterson, Bobby Trees, Keenan Allen, Marquise Goodwin, Kenny Stills. There's some good receivers down the board as well. Denard Robinson, put him at quarterback. That could be pretty fun. You know what? I was talking about previously doing a Braxton Miller rebuild at quarterback. Maybe we do the same thing with Denard Robinson. That could be pretty fun because he was electric in college. Tyler Eifert could be really, really good because he's a Cincinnati Bengal in real life, or he was. Vance McDonald, Travis Kelce, Jordan Reed. On the offensive line, we don't need a left tackle, but we could certainly use a right tackle. I guess we don't need a right tackle because we have R.J. Smith. We only need left guard and center, but we could still think about some guys like Lane Johnson, Teron Armstead. I'm not going to pass those guys up. Left guard, Chance Warmack, Larry Warford. Probably not a whole lot here. Center, Travis Frederick, Barrett Jones. Right guard, you got Kyle Long. And then right tackle, you got really nobody but David Bakhtiari. We know David Bakhtiari has, I think, superstar development, so that could be one to keep an eye on. Ziggy Ansah. Who else down here? John Simon. Right ends, Deion Jordan. We definitely need defensive line, especially if Carlos Dunlap doesn't develop. Starlo Tulele, Sheldon Richardson, Sharif Floyd, Kawan Short, Big John Hankins. D-tackle's got some options. We have already Geno Atkins. Barkevius Mingo, Alec Ogletree on the outside linebacker spot. Middle linebacker, Manti Te'o, Kevin Minter, Kiko Alonso. Anybody else? Probably not. Right outside linebacker, Jamie Collins, John Bostic, Jarvis Jones, Gerald... Why do I keep doing that? Gerald Hodges Jr. And then corners, Desmond Trufant. I'll even put D. Milliner on there just for the memes. Desmond Trufant, Xavier Rhodes, DJ Hayden, Big Play Slay, Tyrann Mathieu, Jordan Poyer, David Amerson, Logan Ryan, Micah Hyde. We can turn some of these guys into safeties if we want to. Nikel Roby-Coleman, AJ Bouye. I'm not going to go for AJ Bouye this year. We know that he develops. We've gotten him. I get him every single time I do a 2012 rebuild. I'm not going to do it this year. I promise you. Free safeties, Eric Reed, Kenny Vaccaro, Matt Elam, Jonathan Cyprin, DJ Swearinger, TJ McDonald. Some good free safeties. Strong safeties, JJ Wilcox, Sean Williams, who I think ends up being a Bengal. Maybe in this draft he gets drafted by them. I don't remember 100%. And then kickers, we have Mike Nugent. We have the Nuge, so I don't think we'll go straight up for kicker just yet. So that's going to be our board for year number 1. I have no idea where we're going to pick. I have no idea how good we're going to be. I have no idea what's going to happen in the draft. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. The region breakdown, wide receiver corner, we'll fire our scout. Might as well. Interior offensive line, defensive end. That's funny. That's what we need, really. But we will fire you. Sorry, Bobby Simmons. And we will hire a corner middle linebacker. That could be pretty interesting. I might go for you. Because we need corner and we need middle linebacker, kind of, because we have Ray Maluga, but I don't think this middle linebacker class is strong enough to go for that. So maybe we choose a... I mean, obviously the strength of the class is corner receiver. It's always corner receiver. I'll hire. We need both of them, so I'll hire. And then we will make that the national scouts. And then when it comes to week 8, we will do that good stuff. I will see you guys at week number 8 when we can get all that stuff figured out. I have no idea how we're going to be. We could be pretty good when we get to this point, but we will find out when we cut back to week number 8. We've arrived at week 8, and we sit at 1-5. So, not good. Not good whatsoever. Let's get the scouting focus out of the way right away. Let's see, what do we have the most of? Do we have more corners or do we have more receivers? We have a lot of corners, probably the most of the two. And receivers, we have a good amount of receivers as well. I think I'm going to go corner, though. think I'm going to go corner to be our focus scouts. So let's do that. Our national focus on cornerbacks. We'll know 95 to 100% on everyone there. And now we can take a look at negotiations. We have a ton of money, and we need to bring back Andre Smith for sure. So I want him back for the length of the rebuild. So we are going to offer him a good amount of money like that, and he says that's perfect. Matthew O'Donnell is not expensive. I don't know who this is, but we'll offer him a contract because he's 23, he's 75 overall, and he's a star development player. I don't know how much I need to offer him because he doesn't want to be here. But I'll offer him that, and he says that's good. Okay, all right, awesome. Ray Malaluga, I want him back as well. He's only 25, so we will offer him a solid contract, and he will say perfect. 145 milli. And there are some guys I want to bring back. There's a lot of players up for a new contract. That's kind of crazy. Mike Nugent, I want you back, so we'll offer you that, and he's coming back. Perfect, 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 perfect. Michael Johnson, I want back as well, because I think we could develop him. He is only 25. At 71 in normal development, might be a little bit tricky to get him developed, but if he has a good season here or there, he could turn into something. Pac-Man, I obviously want back as well, so we will get Pac-Man back. Keep the boys together. 124 left. Pat Sims is interesting. Robert Gathers, I want back for at least 2 seasons. So we will offer him this and offer him that. And he says that's perfect. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Let's see. Brandon Tate is interesting. He's probably a little bit too expensive. Vincent Ray, I will offer a new deal to. He wants to be here, so he shouldn't cost too much. And he's going to come back. Let's go. Vince Young. Oh, I didn't even realize Vince Young was here. 29. I'll offer Vince Young a contract. That could be cool to have Vince Young be the quarterback for us. I'll offer him a contract, and he's going to come back to be our backup. Who else do I want back? Oh, I want Vontaze Burfict for sure. So let's give him a deal. Offer him $2 million and a bonus. He's going to come back. So we still have over $100 million. We're still looking pretty solid. But now we're getting to some more high overall guys. So Nate Clements, Terrence Newman I want back. He's 34, though. So we'll only offer him a little bit of years. 3 years is fine. And he's going to be a little expensive, but he is going to come back. Hopefully he doesn't retire on me after the season. Brian Leonard, I don't really want back. Kevin Huber will sign to just a 7-year deal because why not? There we go. So then we don't have to worry about our punter. We have $87 million. And James Devlin, the legendary Patriots fullback, I kind of want him just because he's a Patriot. So I will give him a 7-year deal, $1.5 million. He's going to come back. Awesome. What else do we want to do, though? Do we want Manny Lawson back? He's probably a little too expensive. Reggie Stevens is not expensive. Pat Sims really isn't that expensive either. I feel like we can get better players at all these different positions. So I think I'm going to let everybody else walk. That's what I'm going to decide. Maybe that's the wrong idea. I don't know. But we will have to wait and see. Let's get to week 11. Find out who our 3 focus players are going to be. Ooh, a breakout DB scenario. It's going to be Taylor Mays. All right, Taylor. Show me what you got, baby. Show me what you're made of, little boy. 1-6 versus 1-7. The battle of suck. But maybe Taylor Mays can do the job. We do lose. Did he get it done? He's frustrated. Why does that never work? It never works, does it? It never, ever works. And it's super annoying. You're not the only one that's frustrated there, Taylor. The Browns are also sucky. They still only have 1 win. Both of us are battling for the worst team in the league, I would assume. Andy Dalton's now a 74 overall. Maybe he's not the guy. I don't know. Maybe he just ain't that guy, pal. But we got some focus players here at week 11. Who do we want to use this on? Who do we want to use this on? Oh, I mean, we need a running back, so it could be Eddie Lacy. We need another receiver to pair alongside AJ Green. And I'm thinking maybe Tavon Austin's that guy. Obviously, we know how good DeAndre Hopkins is, so we don't have to use one on him. I probably want to... I don't even know if I want to use one on Tyler Eifert because we know how good he's going to be. Or we know he's going to be decent, at least. I think I want to use another one on... what else do we need? Maybe Barkevius Mingo for an outside linebacker. And then a corner. We know a lot of these corners are going to be pretty good. As far as safeties go, maybe we go after a guy like Eric Reed. I'll put it on Eric Reed. I kind of want to use this draft this rebuild as a rebuild that we don't really sign a lot, or we don't really draft a lot of players that I normally draft. As far as worst teams in the league, it's us and the Browns. I wonder if there is a way we could trade for the Browns draft pick and then have 2 like top 3 picks. I would need to use my staff points to be able to trade up to make it easier. We have Jay Gruden. I forgot Jay Gruden was a coordinator for the Bengals. So let's sign some of this stuff. It's not going to be able to fill out the entire thing, but it should get us a little bit closer. By the end of the season, we should have enough to do it. I would hope so. Let me advance a week so it registers. And then we'll see what we can do. We lost to the Ravens. We will see what we can do for trading-wise. I might try to trade some of our veteran guys, get some extra draft picks. I don't usually... Browns actually won a game. I don't usually do a lot of trading in these rebuilds, but maybe this year I should do some trading. Or this video. So who do we have as like a veteran that we're not going to really think about? Anthony Collins. I mean, we could get David Bakhtiari and have him play left tackle, I guess. We're not going to re-sign Dennis Rowland, so he can get moved. We're not going to really care about Travell Wharton, are we? But I don't think I have a replacement for him just yet. Thomas Howard we can move on from, and honestly probably Manny Lawson too we're not going to sign. So these 3 guys have to get us a first round pick. I mean, they don't have to get us a first round pick, but what can they get us? Is there any way that we can trade for a first round pick? What about the Denver Broncos? No. Who has the best pick in the draft? Or the worst pick in the draft. That's what I meant. Who has pick 32 as of right now? Patriots have pick 31. That might be good. They will not accept it even for 31. So what about if I ask for a second and a third? Okay, now they're speaking some languages. They are certainly speaking English. That is for sure. I'll give you Jeff Fain. Oh, I can only have 3 players in the class. That's right. Forgot about that. So let's go to draft picks here. What about a 2015 third rounder? That's very close. That's very, very close. What about a 2014 fifth rounder? Oh, wait, what'd that say? Bengals, we do not feel we could afford to move player at position right now. Who's the player at the position? Is it one of the linebackers? Maybe it's Wharton? Oh, no, now I got to add more stuff because I hate when they do this. So, I don't... Why does Madden suck so much? God, I hate this game. Oh, my God, it sucks so bad. Okay, we're not going to be able to make any trades right now. I just don't really want to work through it. So I'm going to cut to the end of the season. We're going to see how bad we are. Hopefully, we're bad enough to be the #1 overall pick, and then we can pretty much do whatever we want with it. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Season 1 is over. We actually won 2 more games. So we went 3-14 on the season. That is good enough for hopefully the #1 overall pick. I have no idea what the rest of the teams around the league did. I'm just hoping that they weren't as good as we were. But obviously, we didn't make the playoffs by any stretch. Let's take a look at the stats, though. Stats on the year. Andy Dalton has quarterback of the future tag, and these are not bad numbers. If we give him some weapons, Andy Dalton certainly has the possibility of turning into a franchise quarterback. 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. No running back really did anything. That's not a surprise. A.J. Green at 1,000 yards with 11 touchdowns. You can see the promise there. Mohamed Sanu also had a pretty decent season. Not a lot of touchdowns, but 946 yards is pretty good. And then defensively, Ray Maualuga had 125 tackles. Taylor Mays had 91, 90 for Leon Hall, 87 for Geno Atkins, 85 for Terrence Newman. Tackle velocity was Geno Atkins with 23, and I'm assuming he led sacks as well. Pecco had 16, 12 for Howard, 12 for Dunlap, and 11 for Manny Lawson. And then the sack leader was, of course, Geno Atkins with 12, 4.5 for Pecco, 4 for Manny Lawson. Interception leader Nate Clements with 2, and then a few guys had 1. So those are your numbers for season 1. They will get better, trust me. They will get better, but we got to go through this first season. So since we're going to have, I would assume, a top 3 pick at the worst, we are going to be able to get somebody really, really good in this draft class. And the problem is it's the 2013 draft class. There's not really many people that are really, really good. So we're going to have to figure this out. It is Ravens and Falcons, of all teams, in the Super Bowl this year in year number 1. Usually it's the Packers, but they didn't make it this year. And the Falcons do end up winning it. So congratulations to them. Good news for us is we have a lot of money in cap room, and we have a good draft pick. So we should be able to make some good things happen here in year number 1. Or year number 2, excuse me. Matt Ryan gets his Super Bowl. Good for him. Rodgers gets the MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. Belichick gets Coach of the Year. Von Miller is Defensive Player of the Year. Andrew Luck is Offensive Rookie of the Year. Zach Brown is Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Titans. And his band does well also. So let's go to the re-sign period. I don't think we have to re-sign anybody else. I think we did it all when we were in week 11 or whatever it was. Week 8, whenever I did that. So we should be good to go. But let's just double check one more time. We're not going to bring back Dennis Rowland. Manny Lawson, probably not. Out of everybody here, Manny Lawson's probably the only one that I would consider. He's 29. 4-year deal. I'll give him $11 million, and then I'll give him like $7 million in a bonus. If he doesn't accept that, okay, he's going to come back. Maybe that's a little bit of an overpay. We still have a ton of money, so it's not that big of a deal. It is not that big of a deal. And then we will go to free agency. I don't know if there's going to be anybody good here. There usually isn't, but maybe this time it's different. Maybe this time there's going to be somebody really good that I want to get. Tony Gonzalez. I don't want Tony Gonzalez, at least not right now. Quarterback, we're going to stick with Andy for right now. Running backs, we need a running back, but I don't want any of these guys. Wide receivers, we do need another wide receiver. Josh Bellamy being 24 is interesting. Can we get Dola? Maybe. Johnny Knox. Didn't he have like a crazy concussion that happened to him? I feel like that happened to him. Mike Brown. Josh Cribbs. Edelman's 27, but he's a 68. It's not going to really matter too much. I don't want to get any of these receivers. Tight ends. I'd rather stick with Tyler Eifert if we go for him. We need left guard, but there's nobody that I want. Center we need, but I don't want anybody here. Right guard we're good. Right tackle we're good. Nope. No, probably nobody here. Everybody's a little too old for me. I like them young. And I don't see anybody here. Nobody else on the right end spot. Left outside linebacker. Man, there's just nobody that I really want. Everybody's just too old for me, or I just don't really want them. So I'm not really seeing anything. I mean, maybe Dwight Freeney, but we tried that before and didn't get him. I guess it wouldn't hurt to try again. I'll try it again. We got the money. Might as well spend it on somebody. So I'll give Dwight Freeney a 2-year deal. We'll offer him like $9 million, and we'll offer him $9 million bonus as well. See what he says to that. That is not even in contention for... Actually, it is. I didn't see ourselves right there. We're right battling with the Steelers. I doubt that we get him. Sean Smith this time has star development. It's really like a mixed bag if Sean Smith is going to be in free agency with normal development or with star development. This time, he has star, so that makes me want to go for him. And we are going to have to raise up our offers like crazy if we want to go for Sean Smith. So let me just... I wasn't familiar with your game, my boy. Let's offer you a big contract this time. Raise up the money a lot, like that. There we go. That should put us in contention, and it does. All right. We're not going to go for anybody else. Darren Sharper. I kind of want to go for Sharper. Oh, no. Here comes Darren Sharper. I love Darren Sharper, man. Just for that clip alone. So we'll offer him a contract just for that. And then that's all we'll get. So hopefully we get Darren Sharper. Put the team on my back, though. So we get Darren Sharper, we get Sean Smith, but we didn't get the other guy. We didn't get Dwight Freeney. He signed with the Dolphins. I didn't even see them in contention. But we get Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper. Every time I see the name, that's all I can think of is that Greg Jennings clip. So we'll adjust the lineup, and we will have Sharper. Sharper's starting at free safety or at strong safety. He's gonna start at strong safety. Screw it, might as well. Sean Smith will be the starting corner along with Pac-Man, Leon Hall, all the good boys. All right, so that is where we will go to the draft. We need to see mock draft number 5 to figure out what our draft position is even going to be, because I still don't even know. So we could have pick 1, we could have pick 2, we could have pick 3. I doubt there's anything lower than that. I have no idea what it's going to be, though. I hope it's pick 1. I doubt it. I would assume some other team. Usually there's another team that sucks really bad in this, and we don't usually get the number 1 overall pick. So I would assume we're either going to have 2 or 3, but I hope that maybe I'm wrong and we have ourselves pick number 1, but I don't think that's going to happen. We'll find out, though, as we load in mock draft number 5, and we officially see what pick we have. It is going to be pick number 2, and they have us taking Kyle Juszczyk, which we're not going to do. This is really, really good, though, because we have pick number 2, which means we have the pick of the litter outside of Ziggy Ansah, which we honestly probably weren't going to take anyway. We could trade down and get a bunch of draft picks later, and maybe even walk away with Hopkins or Tavon Austin. So we have a lot of flexibility here. We can make some crazy things happen. That is for sure. We can really do some damage here. So that's really, really good. I like that. We have 118 skill points. I'm going to spend all those on the staff tree on the player personnel side of things so that we can capitalize on all this stuff. So let's do that, do that, do that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so we couldn't get that. That's okay. But we have one more thing that we need to do, which we'll get for next season. But all of those upgrades should allow us to make a big trade. So let's do the private workouts first. I have a feeling that trading down is going to be the smartest idea, because there's nobody that I want to take it to. And if we can trade down, we can get Tavon Austin. We could get DeAndre Hopkins. We could maybe get Tyler Eifert. We could get... What else do we need? Kyle Long could be fun. Who else is on here that would be interesting? I probably want to put one of these on a late round guy so that we have a little bit more knowledge. Like Gerald Hodges maybe, but I think we drafted Gerald Hodges enough to know how good he is. We know a lot of the corners, which is good. 80% on Eric Reed. Maybe we use the last one on Sean Williams? Yeah, let's do that. Let's use the last one on Sean Williams. So Tyler Eifert, Kyle Long, Sean Williams, and then we will simulate to the actual draft. That will activate all of our player personnel staff stuff that we upgraded. And then we can maybe make a big-time trade. I'm not sure. I think I actually want to go into the draft first. Let's go into the draft and then pause it. So we'll trade, or we'll simulate the Jags pick. They take Ziggy Ansah, no surprise there. Let's just see what the offers are for the number 2 overall pick. So the Bears are willing to give me 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. I definitely want to come away with multiple first-round picks if I'm going to trade. So we need to find the best deal. Titans are offering me the 4th round or the 4th overall pick, but no other first rounders. Steelers are offering me 3 firsts and a second. Okay, I'm considering the Steelers. I know it's pick 21 this year, which would be away from Tavon Austin and DeAndre Hopkins, but I could use my trade method to get up. Let's see. Saints are offering me 3 first-round picks and a second this year. Okay. Washington's not really offering me anything. The Ravens are offering me 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third. Obviously, it's Baltimore, who was just in the Super Bowl, so the picks are going to be less valuable. But that's a lot of capital. Patriots are offering me 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third, just like Baltimore, but they're also pretty good, so those picks are not as valuable. Carolina's offering me 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a third, and a 4. Carolina's intriguing, but we don't get a first-round pick back. Detroit, 3 first-rounders. Jacksonville, 2 first-rounders, and the basically a first-rounder because their second-round pick is the first pick of the second round. So Jacksonville's intriguing. And we know Jacksonville's probably going to be pretty bad. I don't think I could trade with Jacksonville, though. I don't want to give them back-to-back back-to-back picks in the draft, at the top of the draft. That'd be too crazy. Don't want to go the Falcons route. I like these deals that are giving me 3 first-round picks. I certainly like these. It's just a matter of how far in the first round do I want to go back. How far into the first round do I want to go back is the big old question. Do I want to go back to 31 with Baltimore and come away with a bunch of picks? But again, it's Baltimore, so all those picks are probably going to be pretty bad, like in terms of value. Same deal with the Patriots. I don't really know who's giving me the best offer. It's tough to decide. Cleveland's giving me a decent deal, but they're not giving me a first-round pick this year. That's the only question. I need to come away with a first-round pick this year, that's for sure. But I also want to come away with more first-round picks than just this year. I like the 49ers offer, 24 plus first-round picks in 2014 and 15. We also get an extra second and third this year. The Jags is probably the best deal, but I don't want to trade out of the first round, and that's what I'd have to do. So we're not going to do the Jags deal. I'm thinking the Lions deal might be the best one. 16's manageable to trade back into the first round, back up into the first round. We also get 2 first-round picks for next year and the year after, and then a third-rounder next year. That could be pretty useful. Carolina's just not giving me a first-round pick this year. It's honestly going to have to probably be either the Patriots or the Ravens, if I'm being honest. The Ravens are offering me the same deal, basically. They're offering me 3 first-round picks, a second this year, a second next year, and a third next year. And then the Ravens are offering me 3 first-round picks, a second this year, a second next year, and a third next year. So they're the same deal. It's just a matter of who I think is going to be worse. I think the Ravens have a better shot at being worse than the Patriots do. So I'm going to take the Ravens deal. I know it's an in-division trade, but they're giving me a lot of value. So I'm going to trade down, and that's not meaning that I'm giving up on the draft. I'm going to use my method. They take Eric Fisher. I'm going to use my method to trade up for a player. It's just, who do I want to trade up for? I don't know. Do I want Tavon Austin? That could be pretty fun. He's super fast. Him and AJ Green could be pretty fun. He ran 4.3. We've never drafted him before. Or do we just wait for like Barkevious Mingo or DeAndre Hopkins or Tyler Eifert, something like that? I think I might pass on Tavon Austin. Maybe one time we'll get Tavon, but I think I'll pass on him for right now. There goes DeAndre. So we're not going to be able to get DeAndre. He went to the Jets. He was projected to go a couple picks later. There goes Tavon to the Houston Texans. Barkevious Mingo goes to the Rams. Okay, now we're gonna have to start to trade up here. If we want Kyle Long, if we want Tyler Eifert, we're gonna have to trade into the first round to get those guys. So we have 2 second-round picks this year because of the Ravens trade, and then we have a third, fourth. So all of our picks. So the only extra Ravens pick we got was that second-round pick. So that'll be useful for sure. What do I want to do? Do I want Tyler Eifert to be realistic to the Bengals, or do I want Kyle Long? I guess we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. So Sheldon Richardson to Washington, Xavier Rhodes to the Dolphins, DJ Hayden. Where's Darius Slay? Darius Slay is also a guy that I would be interested in taking. He looks like he is down the board slightly, but that doesn't always mean that he's going to stay there. We know that for a fact. There goes Cordell Patterson. Tyler Eifert got taken by the Raiders, so I missed my opportunity there. I think this has got to be either Kyle Long or Lane Johnson, or this has got to be one of these guys, right? We don't need a tackle because we have Andrew Whitworth and we have Andre Smith. I guess I could move Andre Smith. I didn't want to do that. I guess I could move Andre Smith to guard. If we move Andre Smith to guard, we'd have to move Zeitler to left guard. Andre Smith moves to right guard. We take Lane Johnson. He moves to right tackle. And that's a pretty solid offensive line. We just would miss out on... Who else were we looking for? It was Kyle Long. So I think that might be the best idea. So let's talk to the Lions. I'm going to do my method. We're going to trade up pick by pick to get up to the Lions draft picks. So we need pick number 30, which should be held by the Falcons. No, they have pick 32. Who? Patriots, I think, have pick 30. Where are the Patriots at? There they are. So we'll swap with them. They accept. I'm actually going to cut this because it's going to take a little bit to get up to pick 16. So I will see you guys when I have pick 16. All right, I've made it work to get the number 16 pick in the draft. We can now grab ourselves Lane Johnson for the first time, I think, ever getting Lane Johnson in one of these rebuilds. And we can move him to right tackle, Andre Smith to right guard, Kevin Zeitler to left guard, and then we will only need a center for this rebuild, for this offensive line. So we're looking pretty good there. And now we will keep moving on until we get to the second pick of the second round. Darius Slay unfortunately got taken already. I was hoping he would fall to pick 2 of the second round. It looked like he could have, but he in fact does not. So we will have to see what happens. And I'm paying attention. Trust me, I am. Okay, so now we've got ourselves Chris Long still on the board. So I'm glad that I didn't trade up to get him. Let's go to our board here. Who's a guy that's a viable option for us? Keenan Allen certainly is a guy. He is most definitely a person. We're not going to get Teron Armstead. We always get Teron Armstead. Keenan Allen might be the best option for us. Or maybe Tyrann Mathieu. Ooh, daddy. I don't know where to go. I don't think either one of them make it to the third round. So I think we should take Keenan Allen with this pick. I doubt that Tyrann Mathieu makes it to the third round. If he somehow does, or not third round, to the one of the final picks of the second round. If he somehow does, that would be awesome. I highly, highly, highly doubt that he does. But maybe he will. We're looking good pretty right. We're looking pretty good right now, is what I wanted to say. I can speak English, don't worry. EJ Manuel, oh no. There goes Bobby Trees. So, all right, we're looking okay. We're looking okay for the final pick of the second round, or one of the final picks of the second round. Christine Michael and Tyrann Mathieu makes his way to Kansas City a little bit earlier than real life. Unfortunate. I didn't think he would make it to pick 31. But I was holding out some hope. Holding out some hope that he would do it. Sean Williams didn't even make it to my pick. Very interesting. All right. This is the Ravens pick. We got to make it count. Who do we want? We could obviously go for Travis Kelce, but I don't really want to do that because we've done that previously, and there's no fun in that. We could grab Jordan Poyer, which is an option. We could grab Jordan Poyer, which I might do. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to grab Jordan Poyer. We can always move him to safety in the end. But that's a big-time corner pickup. Since we're not going to get Matthew, we might as well get Poyer. And now we have a pick pretty soon after that, so we can figure out who we want. So a lot of running backs going off the board. This could be our Eddie Lacy grab. Should we grab Eddie Lacy with this pick? That could be pretty fun. I mean, obviously we could grab Travis Kelce, but I think I might want to go Eddie Lacy with this one. We need a running back, and he might be the guy. Let's grab Eddie Lacy. This could be pretty fun. He's got hidden development, so that's nice. We'll just keep the cheeseburgers away from Eddie Lacy. And we'll keep the Skyline chili away from him too, so make sure he stays fit. All right, and now we've got ourselves not a whole lot of other options. We've got Gerald Hodges and David Bakhtiari are really the only options I could go for. Maybe Kenny Stills or a Marquise Goodwin. Bakhtiari's just too low of an overall. I could see myself taking Kenny Stills here in the 4th round. Hidden development, 95 speed, 95 excel. All right, maybe Kenny Stills turns out to be somebody. Now we've got some help for Andy Dalton, at least. We've got some help for Andy. Pick 2 of the 5th round. We've got Barrett Jones, one of the best centers in all of college football history, actually, if you didn't know. We're looking for a center. I don't know if he's going to be the guy, but maybe he is. Hidden development. I wasn't sure if he had hidden development before. I don't think I've ever drafted Barrett Jones. Maybe once before. I can't remember exactly. But we were looking for a center. We might have gotten one. Now we are into the 6th round, and there's still a couple of guys on the board. I'm not going to take A.J. Bouye, but I will take Rex Burkhead. Get another running back in there. Rex Burkhead, Sexy Rexy. That's Rex Grossman. He can't steal his nickname. And then we'll go into the 7th round, and I guess if Nickel Roby-Coleman is there, I'll take Nickel Roby-Coleman. I don't know if he's going to be. He is. Okay, we'll take Nickel Roby-Coleman. I know A.J. Bouye is there, and we know that he's good, but we always get him. And I said I wasn't going to get him this year. I promised to you that I wouldn't get him, so I'm not going to get him unless he makes it to the end of this, like to free agency, then I'll get him. But I promised you I wouldn't draft him. I never said I wouldn't sign him in free agency. Taking a look at the team, 74 for Lane Johnson, 70 for Keenan Allen, 66 for Poyer, 60 for Lacy, 67 for Stills, 61. So a lot of low overall players, but a lot of them have development traits, which is nice. Best player in the class was DeAndre Hopkins, no surprise. Darius Slay, Desmond Trufant, all the guys you would expect to be at the top are at the top. Season number 2. Season number dos. How's the team going to look? We need to make those changes in the offensive line before I forget. So we need to go to the lineup. We need to turn... we need to generate best lineup first. We need to turn Zeitler into a left guard. So I will go and do that really quickly. Then we need to turn Andre Smith into a right guard. So let's turn him into a left guard. Save the changes. And then we need to turn you into a right guard, so that you can fill out that spot. Perfect. I don't know why the jerseys are messed up. Must be a little glitched. And then we have Collins at right tackle. I don't know who this is. He's a left. Oh, he's the backup left tackle. I guess for a season while Lane Johnson develops, he can be the guy there. And then we will generate best lineup. Barrett Jones doesn't even get to fit in there for some reason. I am going to turn Lane Johnson into a right tackle, though, so that he's ready to go. Wide receivers are looking better now with Keenan Allen and Kenny Stills there. That's looking good. And Mohamed Sanu is here as well. Running backs, Eddie Lacy's going to be down there for a little bit. I could start him right away, but we'll see what happens. And then on the defense, Maluga, Vincent Ray, Manny Lawson, corners, Then we got Sharper going to start at strong safety over Taylor Mays. Darren Schaub. And we're probably not going to be good this year either, but crucially, this is the 2014 NFL draft class, and we all know the 2014 NFL draft class is kind of goated. So I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, and I'll catch up with you guys when I'm done. All right, we have returned to the rebuild. And I say that because it's a new day, literally. It's a different day I'm recording this, and I have a haircut now. So if you noticed, I didn't want to just like nonchalantly pass over the fact that I have a different haircut from the previous clip you saw to now this clip. So it is what it is. We've got ourselves a new haircut, and we are 5-12 on the year. I'd say that's good. Maybe you wouldn't think it's good, but it's good because it means that we're going to have another top pick. Remember, we still have 2 first-round picks. I think it's from Detroit is who we traded with at the draft last year to get ourselves another first-round pick. So we have 2 first-round picks again. I don't know how good or bad the Lions did. Hopefully they did bad. And we know that we're going to be bad. So we've got a chance to really, really build ourselves up right away. This rebuild could be done in a couple of seasons if we get the right draft picks in this draft. And this is the 2014 draft, which is really, really good. Andy Dalton's year, I mean, that's not a bad year. 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 64% completion percentage. It's a fine season. He doesn't really have a lot to work with. He's got a bad running back in Benjarvis Green-Ellis. No disrespect, but it just not a great running back. He's got Rex Burkhead as along with him, and he's really only got one weapon right now. I mean, we have Keenan Allen, who we drafted. We have Kenny Stills, who we drafted last season. But he's really only got AJ Green for right now until Keenan Allen grows in overall. But AJ Green had a phenomenal year. 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns for Keenan Allen with 800 yards. Sanu had a pretty decent season. And then defensively, we had 134 tackles from Maluga, 124 from Darren Sharp, 98 from Leon Hall, 87 for Sean Smith, 82 for Jason Allen. I don't even know who Jason Allen is. All right, whatever. Geno Atkins had 20 tackles for loss. Maluga had 11, 10 for Dominic Pecco. Sack leader was Atkins, no surprise there, 16, and then really drops off with 4 for Pecco, 2 for Manny Lawson. Pick leader was Sean Smith with 2, and then a few guys had 1. So it's not the greatest year. Defensively, we probably allowed a lot of points, which is not a surprise. We're not that great of a team. But hey, it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild for a reason. I should probably check and see where how good the Lions did this year so that we can kind of adjust our stuff and see where we're going to be picking. So it's Seahawks and Ravens in the Super Bowl. And it will be the Ravens getting it done. Okay, Baltimore, I see you getting a championship here in 2013, similar to when they did in real life. And Joe Flacco gets MVP. Rodgers MVP of the league. Pete Carroll Coach of the Year. Arian Foster and Von Miller are the Players of the Year. And then Hopkins and Kevin Minter are your Rookies of the Year. Hopkins for the Jets, Minter for the Titans. We considered drafting Kevin Minter. Maybe that would have been a good idea. I don't know. But we can go to the re-sign period. I honestly don't remember who I re-signed. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if we have anybody to re-sign. I'll check, though. We can take a look at the team, though, to see like if there's any development upgrades. We've got ourselves Keenan Allen with superstar development. Awesome. Kevin Zeitler, I don't remember if he had superstar development or not. That is an interesting thing. I don't remember if he had it or not. Eddie Lacy's got star. Stills has star. Okay, and then on defense, we've got Maluga and Manny Lawson have star. Reggie Nelson's got star. We knew Sean Smith did because that's why we signed him in free agency. And then Atkins is an X factor. Okay, I don't know if there's been any changes. Manny Lawson might be one. I don't remember. It's been a few days since I recorded that first part of the video, so I don't remember who had what development trait. But the team is still a work in progress. Let's take a peek at how the Lions did this year. So we were the worst team in the league. We got the number 1 pick. And the Lions, oh my God, we have the top 2 picks in the draft. Oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Okay. Oh my God. This is going to be the greatest offseason ever. We've got money to spend. Unless we have to re-sign anybody here. Only Anthony Collins. And he's not going to be that much money. He's 28. I would like to bring him back because he's a good player. He's 86 overall. So if we could get him back, that'd be awesome. I just don't know how much I'm gonna have to pay for him. If we give him like $9 million in salary and $8 million, or $9 million in bonus, $8 million in salary, he says that's good. Okay, so we have $21 million to go out in free agency and spend it on whatever we want. So let's get to that free agent period and see what's gonna go down in the DMs. Sign free agents. What do we got? Not much. A lot of left tackles, a lot of right tackles. Quarterbacks don't need, not right now at least. We have Andy Dalton. Then we're probably going to need a quarterback at some point. I just don't know who that quarterback's going to be. It could be Dalton, I guess. Running back, we need a running back, but I don't like any of these running backs that are available. None of them are going to make that much of a difference other than maybe, I don't even know, maybe Beanie, but he's a too low of an overall probably. Let's see. Receivers, I'm liking how we're building the receiving core right now, so I think we're going to stick with what we got. Tight ends, we have Jermaine Gresham. Offensive line, we need a center. And there's not a center that I want to sign. So we're just going to have to live without that. We do need pass rushers. Something we do need. Justin Tuck, I could consider for a season or two. I don't know if he's going to accept that, but I could consider Justin Tuck. D-tackle, right end. We do need a right end probably, although we have Michael Johnson, and we have, what's his name? Carlos Dunlap. I forgot his name. We have Carlos Dunlap, so we're pretty solid at left end, or at right end. Left outside linebacker, middle linebacker. I don't really want any of these guys. Right outside, there's Dwight Freeney again. And then corners, nobody that's young enough to make a difference except for maybe Chris Harris. Do we think that Chris Harris makes that much of a difference? I mean, nobody's interested in him. I'll throw an offer at him. It can't hurt. And then safeties, Nate Allen is too... We don't want to get into that fight with him. We don't have enough money. If we had a little bit more money, we'd probably do that, but I think we're just going to offer Chris Harris and Justin Tuck. Neither of them signed, and we're not going to get Chris Harris now. But we are battling with the Cowboys for Justin Tuck, and we didn't get Justin Tuck. So we don't sign anybody this free agency, which kind of sucks, but maybe that's a good thing because it means that we can save our money in case somebody next season needs a new contract. So it's whatever. Year number 3 is probably going to have to be another, not wasted year, but just not a year where we make much progression. And now that we have the 2 top picks in the draft, we have like all of the advantage in the world. We can do whatever we want. We could trade one of those picks. We could trade both of those picks. I don't know if I will, but maybe that'd be the smart thing to do because we can get a bunch of draft capital later. Let me just take a look. Mock draft number 5. We don't have the 2 picks? Did I not trade with the Lions? Hold on. Oh my God, I thought we were the Browns. Oh my God, I am the dumbest person ever. I thought we were the Cleveland Browns. We are the Cincinnati Bengals. I read our record when I started the clip. I read the record right. We are 5-12. That's true. But I thought we were the Cleveland Browns when I saw that we had the number 1 overall pick. We trade with the Baltimore Ravens, not the Detroit Lions. Oh my God, I am just... That shows you what happens when I leave a recording for long enough. We also have the Ravens 2015 first-round pick, so that changes some things. Now we only have 1 top 5 pick, and that top 5 pick has us taking Jimmy Garoppolo, which I'm probably not going to do. I kind of want to trade up to the Lions pick to get Khalil Mack, because honestly, we never get Khalil Mack, and he always simulates very, very well in these rebuilds, so I kind of want to trade up to get him. But then with our other first-round pick, I don't really even know where we could go. I mean, obviously I could do the trade method to get up and get somebody. Ooh, I might not even do the trade method, just trade up to get Zach Martin. Okay, I might do that. That would be really, really big. If we could come away in this draft with Khalil Mack and Zach Martin in the first round, I think that would be unbelievably successful of a draft. So I'm going to use these private workouts and I'm going to make those trades. So let's go over here to our board, and we are going to have to find some guys that are going to be pretty decent. Let's use... Let's use it on Weston Richburg, I guess. We'll use one of them on him. We'll use one on... Obviously, I'd love to get Aaron Donald, but we have Geno Atkins. We don't really need Aaron Donald. Let's use one on Telvin Smith. Although we drafted Telvin Smith plenty of times. And we drafted KPL plenty of times before. We know that he turns into a stud. So I could just draft him. But let's draft... Or let's use this last one on Jimmy Ward. Sure, whatever. I don't really know where we're going to go late in the rounds, but that'll be good for right now. And then I got to go make those trades. So I got to trade up, I think, with the Lions and then with the Texans because I want to get one pick ahead of the Seahawks. So let's trade with the Lions. Actually, let's just do it one by one right now. So we know the Browns have pick 1. Who has pick 2? Or the Lions have pick 2. Who has pick 3? Who has pick 3 in the NFL draft? It is, I don't remember. It is the Vikings. Perfect. So we'll trade one pick with the Vikings. Pick 4 to pick 3. Trade offer accepted. And then we'll trade pick 3 to pick 2 with the Lions. And then we'll have the number 2 pick in the draft. And then hopefully we'll have the pick 29 in the draft with the Texans. So let's go talk to Detroit and ask them for the second pick. Give them the third pick. And bada bing, bada boom. They didn't accept. Wow, they usually do accept. Okay, who do you want then? You need a center, so do we. You need a tight end. You need a right end. Do you need a left guard? We have a left guard. We have a right tackle and a left guard that are expendable. We don't have a right end that they want. We need a right outside linebacker too, don't we? And our corners aren't great. Ooh, there's a couple spots that we need for sure. I have a right tackle and a left guard that are expendable. So Matthew O'Donnell, I will consider. That gets it pretty close. What about if I throw that left guard too? Wharton, get it done. That didn't move the needle, I don't think at all. So now we have to go for draft picks because they don't want anything else. Although I could throw them a corner, it's not going to really do much. I can give them... I'll give them Pac-Man. I don't think that moved the needle very much, but you can have him. And then we will go into 2016 and give them a 4th round pick. And that is not good. So we'll go to 2016 and give them a 3rd round pick. Okay, that moves the needle a little bit. What about a 2016 6? A 2016 5. Oh my god. A 2016 4, I guess. I didn't think the Lions were going to... What? I didn't think the Lions are going to be so stingy. Finally, trade offer accepted. So it took our 1st round pick. Reminder, this is pick 3 that we're trading up just one spot to pick 2. I didn't think it was going to be that difficult, especially with the bonuses that we have with the trading stuff. That took a lot of effort to get that 2nd overall pick. I didn't think that it was going to, but I guess that's how much they valued Khalil Mack. But now we have Khalil Mack, and then we're going to go back to the trade screen to trade our other 1st round pick, which is the final pick in the draft, to the Seahawks first to get pick number 31, and then we'll trade with the Texans to get, I guess at pick number 30, or pick number 30, and not pick number 29. So we'll make a deal with them. Mark Sanchez on the trade block. That could be pretty fun. Not pick number 2, pick 31. I hate myself. Pick 31, and then go to the Texans, I think is who that had it. Yep, pick number 30. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so we've jumped the Seahawks to be able to get Zach Martin. Hopefully nobody else reaches above them, because that would be pretty awkward. Let's get to the draft now. If we can come away with Khalil Mack and Zach Martin in the 1st round, we'll have ourselves quite the draft. And that's just the 1st round. Who knows what happens the rest of the draft. The Browns had the 1st overall pick. I thought it was us, but they have it. It's Jadeveon Clowney. Number 1 pick in real life. Now the number 1 pick in this. And we've got our guy Khalil Mack who is going to pair alongside Geno Atkins for quite the defensive line. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. That's a huge pickup. We absolutely needed a guy like Khalil Mack. Mike Evans goes 3 to the Lions. Odell goes to the Dolphins. Sammy Watkins, Panthers. Ryan Shazier, Tampa. I would like to get Ryan Shazier on one of these. We'll have to see how it goes. Jimmy Ward, Eric Ebron, Deion Buchanan, Kyle Fuller, CJ Mosley, D Ford, HaHa Clinton Dix, Derek Carr in San Francisco now, DeMarcus Lawrence, Blake Bortles in Jacksonville. Look at that. Anthony Barr, Bradley Roby, Kelvin Benjamin, Justin Gilbert, yikes. Timmy Jernigan, Darqueze Dennard. It's looking pretty good. Rashid Hagman, however you want to say his name. Taylor Lewan, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Zach Martin is on the board, and Zach Martin is our guard. Thank you very much, Houston Texans. It's a really big pickup. That's a really, really big pickup. That is quite the first round. And now we pick at pick number 4 of the second round. Jimmy Garoppolo is a Detroit Lion. We've got ourselves quite the ability here to grab another good player. So quarterbacks left on the board is Johnny Manziel. We've seen how Johnny Manziel can develop if given the right situation. I mean, in that Browns rebuild that we were doing in 2012, he's the greatest of all time. So I don't think I'm going to do that here. Davante Adams is probably the guy. We need another receiver. We know that Davante Adams is going to be good. I think it's a no-brainer. We take Davante Adams here. Khalil Mack, Zach Martin, Davante Adams, the first 3 picks. Oh, that's money. That's some money draft picks right there. Manziel goes to the Dolphins. Then we have the Ravens' second-round pick. We'll see if anybody interesting goes here, but I could just simulate. There goes Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry could have been nice too, but I mean, it was no-brainer. We had to take Davante Adams. If Davante Adams is available, you take him. Unlike the last time we took it, or we passed on him because we've had him in previous rebuilds. All right, so now we are at the back half of the second round, final pick of the second round. Pick? I don't think it's time to take a running back. It's probably time to focus on the defense again. And I think this is the time to take Kevin Pierre-Louis. He's probably the best guy we have left available. He is only normal development, but we've seen him develop into a crazy player in previous rebuilds, so I'm fine with that pick in the last pick of the second round. Absolutely fine with it. Next pick is pick 4 in the third round, so not much time to waste. Who's our next guy? I'm going to bet that Telvin Smith makes it to the 4th round. That's just kind of my feeling because he's made it there before. This could be time to take a running back. Like, I don't want to take Devontae Freeman. You guys remember in what rebuild was it? Oh, there was a rebuild that I did. It might have been the Detroit Lions rebuild where I took Devontae Freeman and we were in the Super Bowl and he lost it because he fumbled the football like twice. So I'm not going to take him. I could take James White. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to grab Sweet Feet, James White, one of my favorite Patriots. So hopefully that'll be a good running back for us. And then we have the final pick of the third round as well. I think we're having ourselves quite the draft here. We are having a good draft. There's Telvin Smith again. We could take Louis Nix. That might be a good one to back up. He's not that good of a player, but he could back up Geno Atkins. We don't need a starter, so I'm fine with that pickup. CJ Fedorowicz goes to Minnesota. There's some okay offensive linemen still on the board, but I think Telvin Smith is going to be our guy here. Top of the 4th round. He's got a lot of speed, got a lot of athleticism. I'm pretty sure he's star development, so that's a solid pickup. Then we go all the way to the 5th round. We have no more people on our board, so we just have to kind of pick what we have here. Is there any quarterbacks that I would take? Not Tom Savage. There's probably not any quarterbacks that I would take. No running backs. Probably no receivers either. How about tight ends? Is there any tight ends that I want to take? Cam Brate, but he's too low of an overall. We've had him plenty of times. Offensive lineman. I mean, we could take a guy like Travis Swanson, but is it really that big of a deal? Corey Linsley's here, but I think Corey Linsley's too low of an overall. I'll take him. I think he's too low of an overall. I think he starts in like the mid-60s maybe. But it's the 5th round, I guess. We've already had a killer draft so far, so we set ourselves up for quite the season. I'll take Pierre Desir to end the draft. No development, but he's a solid corner backup. All right, that's going to be our final pick of the draft. We had a huge draft. Khalil Mack, Zach Martin, and Davante Adams are our first 3 picks. Those are going to be franchise cornerstones for this rebuild. When we win this championship, those guys are going to be main reasons why we did it. Khalil Mack is 78 overall, Zach Martin is 74, Adams is 71. The rest is kind of low overalls. Lindsey's a 63. But these guys are going to develop, especially I'm really putting some faith in Kevin Pierre-Louis for him to develop. Best player in the class was Aaron Donald. No surprise. Same thing with Odell. Then Clowney. Then we had Khalil Mack. So we got a top 5 player in the class, but we kind of knew that going into it when we drafted him. We've set ourselves up for a really good, really quick rebuild with the guys that we drafted these past 2 years. We just need to find that quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be Andy Dalton. It could be. We just haven't been really in a spot to draft a quarterback that's going to be good enough. I'm going to start James White ahead of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. We've got Keenan Allen. We've got AJ Green. We've got Kenny Stills. We've got Davante Adams. Wide receiver core is pretty much done now. Offensive line is interesting because we have Lane Johnson. We have Zach Martin. We have Andre Smith, and we have Collins. I don't think Zach Martin can play center. It's the only problem. All right, that's good. I mean, it's Madden. It doesn't really matter. And then on defense, we throw in Kevin Pierre-Louis starting at right outside linebacker. I'm fine with that. That's perfect. Looks like Darren Sharp is retired, so Taylor Mays will start back at safety. We could change Poyer to strong safety, which I might do to free up some spots at the corner position. So let's change Jordan Poyer to a strong safety here. Hopefully he's a higher enough overall to start over Taylor Mays. He'll start. Jordan Poyer at strong safety. Linebackers are looking better now. Khalil Mack will start alongside Carlos Dunlap. Okay, I'm fine with that. Corners are looking okay. All right, we're still a little bit of a work in progress, but that's a good season. That's good off season of drafting and doing that stuff. And remember, we still have another first-round pick from the Ravens, so we're going to have 2 more first-round picks again this season, which is the 2015 draft, which is going to have Mariota and Jameis Winston at the quarterback position. I guess we'll see how Andy Dalton does now with even more weapons, adding Davante Adams in there and James White. So we'll see how he does. I'm going to assimilate to the end of the year, and we will figure out how good the Bengals did. We've made it to the end of the year. It's playoff time, and we're actually a part of it. We went 13-4 after finishing 5-12 in year 2. Year 3, we completely turned it around. I don't know if that's because we got Khalil Mack or if Andy Dalton just figured out that he could be good. I don't know what happened, but we won the division. We're playing in the wild card round, so unfortunately we didn't win the number 1 seed. But what a turnaround. What an absolute turnaround for this team. You love to see. What did Andy Dalton do? Oh my God, Andy Dalton had a much better season, and now he's got the QB of the future tag. 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 picks. Andy Dalton, he's our guy now. We don't have to trade. We don't have to draft a new quarterback. We don't have to go for Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota or anybody in next year's draft, 2016, Carson Wentz or Jared Goff. We got our guy. We found it. We just need to fill out the rest of the team a little bit. We got our guy, though. James White had himself a pretty good rookie season, 988 yards, 5 touchdowns. Nice to see. 2 1,000-yard receivers. Keenan Allen had 1,100 with 15 touchdowns, and AJ Green had 1,100 with 8 touchdowns. So that's awesome. Love to see that. We got some pretty good receivers there. Kenny Stills had a pretty decent year. Davante Adams didn't really play much. That's not a surprise, though, because he'll develop and he'll get right up there with the rest of them. And then defensively, Ray Maluga had 136 tackles, and this is why you get Kevin Pierre-Louis, because if you get Kevin Pierre-Louis, he's going to put up 100-plus tackle seasons every single time. He's just that good. 131 for him as a rookie. If he would have put up any significant sack or interception numbers, he would be guaranteed Rookie of the Year. But he's not going to get it because he didn't have any of those numbers. And that's what Madden takes into consideration when giving the Rookie of the Year away. And Defensive Player of the Year and all that stuff as well. Sean Smith, 82. Jordan Poyer, as a starter, strong safety, had 82. Tackle for loss leader was Geno Atkins with 21. Khalil Mack is a rookie at 17. Manny Lawson at 17 too. 16 and a half sacks for Geno Atkins is crazy. 11 for Domta Pecco. 3.5 for Khalil Mack is a little bit low. Thought he'd have a few more than that, but that's okay. 2 picks for Sean Smith and Nickel Roby-Coleman. 1 for a couple other guys. But that doesn't really matter because we made the playoffs as, I'm assuming, the number 2 seed. I don't really know, but I'm assuming we're the number 2 seed. And we are. Patriots were the 1 seed. Whoop-de-doo. All right. Taking on the Raiders. The Raiders. First round of the playoffs. Come on, don't disappoint me. 24-19. We are here for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for a reason. Keenan Allen's developing really, really well. Taking on the Houston Texans in the divisional round of the playoffs. They're pretty good. Patriots are playing the Ravens, so that's kind of unfortunate, but we have the Ravens pick, but the Ravens made the playoffs. I mean, we kind of knew that they were going to be good. They're not as good as they were last season. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year. So hopefully the Patriots beat them and we get a little bit of a higher pick. Nothing too crazy. I don't really know. I didn't really even see this side. Washington versus Minnesota. Seattle versus Carolina. It's pretty interesting. Packers lost, so that's always nice to see when Aaron Rodgers wins MVP every year, but he loses in the playoffs. This is going to be interesting. I think we can get it done, but I have no idea, to be honest with you. Texans, Bengals, we're both 13-4, so this could go either way. This could go either way, and it will go not our way. We lose 17-14 against the Texans in the divisional round. We had a good year. That's a good building block. That is a good building block to launch from. Because now we are considered favorites in play a Super Bowl champion or Super Bowl contenders. So that's going to help free agency, hopefully. It's going to be Patriots Seahawks in the Super Bowl, and it's the year 2014, which I'm pretty sure is the year that actually, would that have been the actual Super Bowl? I think it would have been. It's the Malcolm Butler year, right? Because then the next season they go and they beat the Falcons. No, the next season is Super Bowl 50 with the Broncos and Panthers. And then 2016 is when the Patriots beat the Falcons in the amazing overtime comeback. And then 2017 is when they lose to the Eagles, I think, because on the Philly special, which I still hate Nick Foles for. And then 2018, or was that 2018 was when they beat the Rams in that boring game where they held the Rams like 3 points or something. That was a boring Super Bowl, even for a Patriots fan. And then 2019 was the Chiefs and Mahomes' first win. 2020 was Brady and the Bucks. 2021, who's 2021? Was that the Rams? Did the Rams get it in 21? And then 22 was Mahomes. And now 23 is happening this year. I think that's the way it went. I don't know. You guys can check me if I'm wrong. We're into the offseason now. Patriots did get the Super Bowl just like they did in real life. They got the Super Bowl. Who won MVP of everything? Brady wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Rodgers wins MVP of both the league. Well, he wins MVP of the league and wins Offensive Player of the Year. We got Coach of the Year, which is nice. Gerard Mayo, head coach of the New England Patriots, gets Defensive Player of the Year. Then Brandon Cooks for the Chiefs gets the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Aaron Donald for the Vikings gets himself Defensive Rookie of the Year. No surprise there. Aaron Donald is a god. We moved to the re-sign period, which I don't know how it's going to go because I had to re-sign AJ Green during the season, and he cost a lot of money. So I might have to employ my good old-fashioned free money glitch. I don't know if that's going to work, though. We might try it. Andy Dalton is now a superstar development quarterback. He was normal development when we started the season. Devontae Adams is superstar. Keenan Allen is X-Factor. So we've got ourselves quite the receiving core. Receiving core's done now. James White's superstar, by the way, too. So running back is pretty much done. I mean, we could add another one to back him up, but James White's going to be goated. Andy Dalton playing up 7 overall, to be fair, but superstar development is awesome. Zach Martin's an X factor. That's not a surprise. We've got a lot of offensive linemen, but no center. A lot of offensive linemen, but no center that I actually like. But I mean, hey, Cook's getting it done. We probably do need to get a backup tight end. Kalimac's an X factor, not surprised. Mauluga's up to superstar, and Kevin Pierre-Louis is up to star. What I tell you? What did I tell you? The defense is actually looking good. We need to get a few more pieces, but we're looking pretty solid right now. So we're not going to have any money in free agency if I do this glitch. No, it's not. I keep saying glitch. It's not a glitch. Who do I... we have to re-sign Jermaine Gresham, too. I'm probably not going to bring Clinton Boyling back because we don't really need him. I have to bring back Andy Dalton. So if anything, I just need to tag him. But I guess I can do the restructuring contracts because I need to bring those guys back. We have to get Jermaine Gresham back, and we have to get Andy Dalton back because Andy Dalton's now our guy. He's now our quarterback. So we need to restructure Geno Atkins' contract. It's going to push some money back down the line, but hopefully we've already won a Super Bowl by that point, so it won't matter. We need to restructure Andre Smith's contract. That will be good. And then I'll do one more. We need to restructure... Who else is expensive? I guess we can restructure AJ Green's. I just signed him to it, but we can restructure it. So there we go. The 3 biggest deals we had have been restructured. That should hopefully free up enough money to sign... That's mock draft number 3. To sign both Jermaine Gresham and Andy Dalton back. Let's go see. So we have $37 million. That's not honestly that much money. Ugh, I hate that he wants to be in a warm weather state. I hate it. But we have to bring him back whatever the cost because he's our only option right now. We're not going to have a high enough pick to draft a quarterback. So we're going to have to offer Andy Dalton that contract, and he's happy to sign and continue on. But that leaves us really no money to sign Jermaine Gresham, which is going to hurt us because we're going to have literally no tight ends on the roster. And he wants a career win percentage. If we had a better win percentage, he'd want to be here. But we have no tight ends on the roster now that we're going to let Jermaine Gresham go. I could probably restructure enough contracts to make it work, but I don't know. It's probably not the right idea. I already restructured enough. I restructured the 3 biggest contracts we signed. We have to go sign a tight end. That's just what has to happen. Jermaine Gresham's going to go somewhere else. There's nobody even that's good. Oh, no. There's not even a good tight end on the roster or on the board. That super sucks. It doesn't just suck, it super sucks. We have to get at least one tight end. Receiving core is finished. I would like an extra running back. And you know what? We might as well go for a guy like DeMarco Murray. We'll see if he accepts it. I don't know if he will. But that's all of our money that we have. So let's go for the targeted. We got Lance Kendrick. And the Patriots have offered DeMarco Murray more than what we can offer him, probably. So we're not going to get DeMarco. Screw you, New England. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I love you. Oh, I don't even know what's going to happen, man. We had to spend all that money on AJ Green and Andy Dalton. Okay. We have more offers. It looks like he signed. Yeah, DeMarco Murray signed with the Patriots. Okay, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We have James White. I was just looking for a backup. But we got to keep our money, whatever little money we have. We need to decide a tight end. I mean, I guess we could draft one in this draft. I don't think there's any good tight ends in this draft. I can't remember, actually. I guess we'll go take a look at mock draft number 5, see if there is. Oh, man. Why does money have to be such an issue? Okay, mock draft number 5. Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick. They're going to take probably Dante Fowler. We sit with the, excuse me, with the 25th and 27th. That's not amazing, but it's not bad. I could trade up one spot and get Todd Gurley. That could be our running back problem figured out. I know we have James White. That could be our running back problem figured out. I could also trade up to get a guy like Byron Jones. I think I might want to do that because we do need a corner, another really, really good corner. So I might try to get up and trade for Byron Jones with the number 14 pick. That's pretty doable. I can do that pretty quickly. And then we don't need Danielle Hunter. So if we trade up to get whoever I was just talking about, I think that we can make this work. So we probably want to go for Todd Gurley. But J.J. is also here. Amari Cooper we're probably not going to be in play for. I'm going to use some on Mitch Morse because I know he plays center. I'll use one on Trey Flowers. And then we'll use one on, I don't know, I guess Grady Jarrett, because we know that Grady Jarrett is usually pretty good, but he's a low overall, which is the only concerning thing. We've drafted him a couple of times previously. All right, so let's go see if I can make these trades happen. I might cut it out because it's going to take a little bit of a long time to get from 27 to where we need to get. Who has 26? 26 is held by the Panthers, so we'll trade up with them. And then obviously we have pick 25, so we have to trade 25 to somebody else. But we're trying to get up to 14 with the Rams. So let's do that. Let's trade 25 to get number 24, which is held by... You know what? Let's try 23 first. Maybe we can skip a step. The Chiefs have 23. They are willing to trade. And look at that. We just skipped a step and went right to 23. I'll try it again with 21, but it gets harder to skip 2 spots as the higher you go, obviously. So pick number 23. We will try to get pick number 21, which is held by the 49ers? Falcons. Falcons have 21. We will accept that straight up. All right, it's moving pretty fast. It is moving pretty fast. We got to now trade pick number 21. Nope. 21 to find out who has pick number 19. That'll be the next one. Pick number 19 is held by the Raiders, right? Yep, the Raiders. Is that going to work? It is. Okay, it's working out. Moving up 2 spots is a lot quicker. Moving on spots is a lot quicker. So now let's go to number 17. Phillip Rivers? Yeah, Phillip Rivers. Number 19 to number 17. Number 17 is held by the Steelers. All right, accept that, please. They do. Then we need to go up to 15. I don't know who's holding 15. All right, 15. Pick number 15. Pick number 15. Pick number 15 is the Lions. Detroit. Perfect. Now we are only 1 spot away from getting Todd Gurley. We have to go to the Rams and talk to them. Deny them Todd Gurley this time. Let's go and trade number 15 to get number 14 from the Rams. Actually, I could just go to number 13 and skip a step. Let's do that. Skip. Perfect. Number 13 is there. Obviously, I could keep going up and up, but I don't really want to. Mock draft number 5. Now we have the Saints pick at 13. We have the Panthers pick right here. So, Todd Gurley actually... What? Hold on. What? Oh, we were trying to get Byron Jones. That's right. So we have this pick right here at 13. So we can grab Byron Jones with the 14th pick. And now we have pick number 26. So we need to get up to pick number 23 with the Chiefs. But the Chiefs don't have pick number 23. They have pick number 25. Because we traded with them. So we need to get number 23 to be able to get Todd Gurley. So let's trade number 26 for number 24. I don't remember who I traded number 24 to, if I even traded number 24. We know the Chiefs have picked number 25. Let's go for number 24. It's the Jets. Oh, no, it's the Packers. I saw green out of the peripherals. Trade decline. Okay. I'll just give you a 2017-7, I guess. There we go. So now we have pick number 24, which should be good enough to get Todd Gurley, right? I don't have to move up anymore. He's projected to go right there. I'll try to trade up to number 23, just to give us one spot ahead. I don't want to be caught with my pants down. That's never good. So let's go and trade this one more time. Pick number 24, and we can go ask for pick number 23. I guess we can go pick number 22. Let's go 22. Trade offer accepted. Perfect. Now we don't have to trade anymore. We got the 2 picks that we need to get to be able to get those guys. So let's advance to the draft. We should come away with a top 5 player in Byron Jones and a really, really good running back in Todd Gurley, which I think he has X factor. I don't know. I haven't drafted him very often in these rebuilds, so I don't remember what he has. Dante Fowler does go to the Jags at number 1. Amari Cooper's in Cleveland. Look at that. Marcus Peters, Bud Dupree, Melvin Gordon, Nelson Aguilar, Trey Waynes, Marcus Mariota, the Titans. Hey. Eric Armstead, which would have been cool. I would have liked Eric Armstead. But I think Byron Jones is the better of the 2 options. Where's Byron Jones at? There he is. Let's take him. Byron Jones, hidden development. That's a big corner to get. That's a really, really big corner to get. I've never taken Byron Jones before, so that's nice. Get somebody new. Todd Gurley goes to the Rams. Way ahead of schedule. Way ahead of what he was projected to go. Oh. Okay. We have James White. It would have been nice to get Todd Gurley, but we have James White. It's not like a necessity to get Todd Gurley because we can still get Jay Ajayi in the 2nd round. I see Stephon Diggs. Don't worry. We don't really need a receiver, though. That's the thing. I think I want to go Mitch Morse here. Mitch? I think that's going to be the best course of action. We could go Shaq Thompson. I never get Shaq Thompson. I have always wanted him. But we have pretty good outside linebackers, and we need a center. So I think I'm going to take Mitch Morse with this 1st round pick. Only no development. Really, Mitch? Okay. All right, then we don't pick again. They'll pick 27 in the 2nd round. So almost certainly Shaq Thompson will be gone, and he is. He didn't even go to the 2nd round. So there goes Brandon Scherf, who I could have taken and put him at center, I guess. Who is going to be here at pick 27? Who is Randy Gregory? Diggs is here. I mean, Diggs is the obvious choice. We have already pretty good receivers. We have AJ Green. We have Keenan Allen. We have Devontae Adams. We have, who's the 4th receiver? Kenny Stills. So we have 4 receivers that are amazing. We don't need another receiver that's amazing. We know Stephon Diggs is amazing. We get him all the time. He's amazing. Shaq Mason, on the other hand, is probably more likely option. And I think that's going to be my guy. Tight ends available. I mean, we need another tight end, and Max Williams is there, but I see CJ Uzomah down here, so that might be a nice little value pickup. I think we'll wait a little bit on tight ends. I think Shaq Mason's going to be our guy here in the 2nd round. We missed on, I don't want to say missed, but Mitch Morse didn't have a development trait. At least Shaq Mason does. So that's nice. 3rd round, pick number 27. Mark Glowinski goes off the board. We've got, I mean, they're just begging me to take Stephon Diggs, aren't they? They're just begging me to take Stephon Diggs. Grady Jarrett is here, and I think Grady Jarrett is the guy. Neither one of these guys, Grady Jarrett or Stephon Diggs, will make it to the 4th round. There's almost no way. I guess there is a way that Grady Jarrett I mean, obviously he's going to make it to the 4th round, but he probably doesn't make it to pick 27 is the thing. Diggs certainly doesn't. But we don't need Stephon Diggs. We just don't need him. I'm going to take Grady Jarrett. We need a backup D-tackle more than we need an amazing wide receiver. It would just cluster up the entire receiving core. We have good receivers. We don't need Stephon Diggs. That's my justification. We don't need Stephon Diggs. We might as well take Bobby McCain. We can always turn him into a safety. All right, so I feel like we've had a pretty decent draft here. We didn't get Todd Gurley, but that's okay. That is okay. Is there another guy? Is Jay Ajayi still here, or is he gone? He's gone. I probably should have got him a couple rounds earlier, but that's okay. What's the tight end situation looking like? O'Shaughnessy and Uzama. I think I'm going to take CJ Uzama here. He's got normal development, but hey, he's another body at tight end. He's another body at tight end. That helps us out a lot. And I'm just going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft. Okay, so we came away with a good draft. We missed a little bit on Mitch Morse with the normal development. But in the end, I think we came away with a pretty solid draft. Byron Jones is a 77, which is huge. He's probably going to start at number 1 corner now for us. Mitch Morse is a 70. Shaq Mason's a 65. So neither one of these guys are going to be good enough to start right away at center. Grady Jarrett's a 68. Bobby McCain's a 66. CJ Uzama's a 54. And Christian Ringo they took, he's a 59. Best players in the class is Byron Jones. We got the number 1 player in the class at pick 13. I will take that. I forgot that he was the number 1 player in the class. That's huge. That's huge. He's probably our number 1 corner now. And I've never drafted Byron Jones before. At least I don't think. Not that I can remember in any of these rebuilds. That is a huge, huge draft to help us out. And we're on pace now. We are on pace now. We've got a quarterback in Andy Dalton. The offensive line is good enough. Tight end is not good now, but it is what it is. Our receiving core is very good. Our defense is looking a lot better. I'm going to actually just start Grady Jarrett at backup, or as D-tackle 2. Sean Smith and Byron Jones are going to hold it down at corner. Safeties are looking good. I mean, the team looks a lot better now. I don't think we're a championship team just yet. We probably need next season, and then we're probably a championship team. We need to use this year to develop our guys like Andy Dalton and some of these low overall guys, especially on the defense. So year 4 is probably not going to be our year, but year 5 certainly can be. I'm going to assimilate to the end of the year, and we'll see how we do. I mean, we were the number 2 seed last season. I don't see why we can't perform similar in this season. We finished the season, and we improved even more than we did last year, which is a really, really good sign. Obviously, we're going in that upward trajectory. 14-3, won the division. Not only winning the division, finally got the 1 seed for the first time in the rebuild, so you love to see it. How did the boys do? How did we get to this point? We got to this point because Andy Dalton is a franchise quarterback now. 4,200 yards, 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, Andy Dalton is performing how the Bengals wanted him to perform in real life. He's doing really, really well. Obviously, we've given him a lot more talented weapons than he had in real life. 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns for James White. He's performing like I would expect him to do. AJ Green had a 1,400-yard season with 6 touchdowns. Keenan Allen had a 1,000-yard season with 15 touchdowns. And Devontae Adams had a 900-yard season with 7 touchdowns. So our 3 receivers, I don't think we could get any better than this. I mean, obviously, we could have had Stephon Diggs a couple of times, but I feel like we were pretty set with the receivers we had. Defensively, 106 tackles for Ray Mataluga, 105 for Kevin Pierre-Louis. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to superstar. He's been known to do that. Sean Smith with 80 tackles. Geno Atkins with 78. Tackle for loss leader was 26. Khalil Mack had 26. Crazy. 23 for Geno Atkins, 16 for Dunlap, 12 for Manny Lawson, 18 sacks for Geno Atkins. Mack is not really getting the sack numbers I would expect. Maybe it's the defensive playbook that we're in, where it allows for the D tackle to get a lot more pressure on the quarterback than the defensive ends, but I don't know. Khalil Mack's just not performing like I expected him to. 3.5 for Carlos Dunlap. And then Byron Jones and Reggie Nelson both led the team with 3 picks. Jordan Poyer had 2, so did Leon Hall and Sean Smith, and a few guys had 1. So I'd say that's pretty impressive for, what is this, year 4 of the rebuild? We take on the Houston Texans in round 1. Didn't we play them in round 1 last year in the wild card round? 1-point victory. Oh my God, 29-28 over the Texans. A little bit too close for comfort. Jordan Poyer goes up to a 23 overall, and we take on the 10-7 Denver Broncos in the AFC title game. A chance to go to the Super Bowl for the first time, I feel like a year ahead of schedule, because I said in the previous clip, I said we were still probably a year out from being an actual true Super Bowl champion, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe we're going to win it here. I don't know. We still got to get by the Broncos, and then we have to get by either the Saints or the Seahawks, who are both the top 2 teams in the NFC side of things. This is going to be a little tricky, but, I mean, we're the number 1 seed by a good margin. Patriots, the number 2 seed, lost, so I have a pretty good feeling that we can get through this, but we're going to find out. This is going to be quite the matchup. I still think we can get it done, but we're going to find out right here. Come on, boys. 31-24, we do it. And we are going to take on the New Orleans Saints, who were also the 1 seed. They gave us maybe the benefit of the doubt not having to play the Seahawks, but oh my God, 16-1. Drew Brees must have went crazy this year. Okay, maybe this isn't the year that we win the championship, although we never know. We could upset them. Drew Brees had 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns this season. Maybe we can upset them. It's not going to be looking too good, but maybe we can win this Super Bowl. I don't know. We're going to jump in and find out. And don't be surprised if the jerseys aren't, like, working. If they look like the gray blacked out jerseys for some reason. I don't know what's going on with them, but it is what it is. Let's go see if we can upset the 16-1 New Orleans Saints and win a championship. It is Super Bowl time here in the rebuild. First one that we are part of. And Saints lead 10-3. We get a couple field goals. We're not going to beat the Saints on field goals, and they're starting to capitalize here. We fight back a little bit. Second half. Come on, boys. There it is. 24-21. Saints put another one on the board. 28-30. Well, we are in this game. Saints put a field goal up. Oh, I think we just had a turnover there. We lost. Yep. 37-28. I was just in super stunned silence because we lost that one. I thought we were going to come back and win that. 37-28. Couldn't get it done. All right. I mean, it's not that bad. We were probably a year ahead of schedule anyway, so it's not that bad that we lose the game. I think next year, though, is the year. I really do. And the Saints were just, they were 16-1. They were too good. Too good to lose that game. So now we have to go in this offseason. We can't sign any free agents, but at this point we don't really need to. We just need to draft well and develop the guys that we already have. Drew Brees is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Rodgers MVP of the league again. We get Coach of the Year. Arian Foster and Von Miller are Players of the Year. Amari Cooper wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Bernard McKinney wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we got to have a good offseason, draft well, and then go into year 5, I think, right? Year 5, with the intention of dominating, winning the going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, because I think we're at that point now. So negotiations, I did sign everybody that we needed to sign, so we just accept the offer on Lane Johnson, and that's the only guy we need to bring back. We obviously don't have any money now because I've been doing the restructuring of the contracts, so we have no money. So we need to go past free agency all the way to the draft, and we are done with the Ravens' first-round picks, so I think we only have our own first-round pick, which is going to be pick 31. So we're not going to be able to get anybody good. It's the 2016 draft. Well, we're not going to be able to get anybody like super amazing unless I do the old trade up every single pick. But I don't really want to do that. So we're just going to ride it out with what we have. We'll take a look at the mock draft, see who they have us taking, and then we'll go from there. We will go from there. Mock draft number 5. They have us taking Bosa at 1 for the Chargers. They have us taking Nick Martin at center at 31. I don't really think that's going to be an option. I think the better option would be to trade up a couple spots and get one of these two guys, either Deion Jones or Jalen Smith. I think that's going to be the smarter option, because that's going to be something that we need more so than anything else, and somebody that can impact right away. Because if we go, I didn't even take a look at development upgrades. Did we get any development upgrades? We got Andy Dalton to X Factor. We have no left tackle now because Andrew Whitworth has retired. So we move Collins over to left tackle, and we move Lane Johnson to right tackle. That's fine. Receivers are still looking good. James White's developing. we could use an outside linebacker over Manny Lawson. So I think that's going to be the one thing that I do. Whether it's Jalen Smith or Deion Jones, it's probably going to be Deion Jones. And he'll start probably over Manny Lawson right away. I'm fine with the corners that we have. Maybe we can grab another one in late rounds, like second round or something like that. But let me do private workouts and let me trade up a couple of spots. So it's the 2016 draft. Receivers, obviously Tyreek's here. Tight end, I could certainly see like an Austin Hooper type. Left tackles, probably not going to be in play for any of those guys. Oh, who else? Maybe Jihad Ward if he falls to the second round, but I don't think he will. We know that Deion Jones is a stud, so we don't have to waste anything on him. Corners, Kendall Fuller could be awesome, and then I'll use the other one on Justin Simmons, I guess. Oh, I don't have another one. I use on Austin Hooper. All right, perfect. So that's my plan, is to take either Jalen Smith or Deion Jones. Probably Deion Jones, but we'll trade up a couple spots just in case, just to be careful. So we'll trade from 31 to 29, and the Broncos have 29. And that's declined, but that's okay because I'll give them a 2018 6th-round pick, and they accept that. And then I'll trade up one more spot to 28 just to cover my bases. So we will go to our pick. We don't have a lot of draft picks, do we? Yeah, we have a first, a second, and then I traded a bunch of them a couple of years ago because I thought that we would be a championship team and the rebuild would be over. But it's not. So let's trade up to 28. I don't know who's going to have it. It is held by the Bucks. Okay, there we go. Pick number 28 in the draft is now ours. So now we have pretty much reign of whoever we want in terms of Jalen Smith or Deion Jones. Probably going to be Deion Jones. But then we really have to hit on that second-round pick or we're going to be screwed. I guess not really screwed, but we're only going to get two unbelievable good players. So let's skip all the way to pick number 28. It is our time to shine, and we are going to grab ourselves. Well, it looks like the decision's been made. Oh, no, it hasn't. I was going to say the decision's been made for us, but Jalen Smith is still on the table. So we are going to get ourselves Deion Jones. He's going to be our first-round pick, and he's probably going to start right away over Manny Lawson, if I had to guess. And then round 2, pick 31 is our next pick, and it is going to be maybe Tyler Higbee, but I don't remember how high of an overall Tyler Higbee is. It might be Kendall Fuller, actually. I might go Kendall Fuller with this pick. Getting another solid corner is better than getting a tight end that's probably not going to matter too much. So getting Kendall Fuller is a big pickup. Now we don't pick again until the 5th round. So pretty much our entire board is going to be gone at this point. But maybe there's somebody there that we can grab. Nope. Literally every single person on our board got taken. So we will just have to grab whoever's available that I think could be good. Matt Judon is way too low of an overall to even consider. But David Onyemata is something I didn't think about. And DJ Reader as well. Okay. I might go DJ Reader here. Let's pick him up. Another D-tackle body is always nice. And then into the 6th round, I have no idea who's going to be the best pickup for us. Not a quarterback, not a running back. A receiver, probably not. Not a tight end either. I don't even really know what the best move would be. I mean, Matt Judon's still there. He's not really worth taking because we know he's going to be just like a 59 overall or something, but maybe just to grab somebody that we know is going to have a development trait. You know what? I don't like anybody else. We're going to take Matt Judon. He's not going to ever matter for us because I'm hoping that we end the video after this season where we win a championship. That's the goal, at least. And he's far too low of an overall to really make an impact in one season. So I think we came away with a good draft, even though we had a first and a second, and that was it, basically. We got a 77 in Deion Jones. He's going to start over Manny Lawson. And then Kendall Fuller can compete right away for for a starting job at corner because we have Byron Jones and Sean Smith, but then after that, it kind of drops off a little bit with like Kirkpatrick. So Kendall Fuller can play right away probably. And I think he has superstar development if I remember from one of the previous rebuilds we did. So let's do a little bit of a generate the best lineup. We've got a good enough quarterback to win a Super Bowl. We got a good enough running back. We got great wide receivers. We got a good enough offensive line. On defense, we have Deion Jones. Now the linebacking core looks a lot better. I was wrong about Kevin Pierre-Louis going up to superstar though. We got good enough safeties. We got good enough safeties. And then we've got corner. Kendall Fuller will be the number 4 corner now. We've got a good enough defensive line. Geno Atkins is a true 99. I mean, we are good enough to win a Super Bowl. We just happen to come up against an unbelievably talented team in the New Orleans Saints. But I think this year, if we win the division and are the number 1 seed, I think this year could be our year to win a championship. Season is all wrapped up, and we finished even better. So that upward trajectory actually finishes, hopefully, a full straight upward motion, upward path, because we go 15-2 now, number 1 seed, division winners by far, and wow, Andy Dalton, 2nd in the league in passing yards. You love to see it. That's why we put our faith in Andy Dalton. We didn't stray too far from him. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. We just knew that he needed to have those weapons. He's got A.J. Green, he's got Keenan Allen, he's got Devontae Adams, he's got Kenny Stills. He's got great weapons around him. He just needed those weapons to develop into the guy that he has become. 73% completion percentage as well. James White, another 1,000-yard season with 8 touchdowns. A.J. Green and Keenan Allen, no surprise, they are the top dogs. 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns for A.J. Green. That could be Offensive Player of the Year numbers right there. That's a lot of touchdowns and a lot of yards. Madden likes that. Keenan Allen had 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns, so no slouch. I mean, for Keenan Allen, that's a fantastic year. And then Devontae Adams coming right up there with 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, 120 tackles for Kevin Pierre-Louis. KPL dominates again, and this might be superstar development for him. Deion Jones, 105. Poyer had 87. Tackle for loss leader is Geno Atkins with 18. Khalil Mack had 15. Sack leader is Atkins again. As you would expect, he's a true 99 overall. 13. 11.5 for Khalil Mack. 5 for Carlos Dunlap. Pick leader was Byron Jones with 3. Sean Smith with 2. I'm really happy we got Byron Jones. I mean, I've never gotten him before, and he's produced like I would expect him to. Now we take on the Chiefs. This is not the Chiefs team with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, all those guys. So we should be able to beat them, and we do easily 31-9. You love to see it. Walked the dog on Kansas City. Now we take on Buffalo, who's 11-6. They're the 2 seed. That's how much of a difference the AFC was. A 2 seed. And look at this. One, the defending champ Saints don't even make the playoffs, which is crazy. They were 16-1 last year. They don't even make the playoffs. But the Falcons lost to the 7-seeded Carolina Panthers, and Washington lost. They were the 3 seed. They lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are the 5 seed. So it's a 5 versus 7 in the NFC title game. This is looking so much more promising than last year when we had to go up against the Saints, who were a generational type of talent, it seemed like. But we have to get by the Bills. They're the 2 seed, but there's a big gap between us and them. It should be fairly simple. Can Andy Dalton lead us to back-to-back AFC title games, AFC title wins? He does, and by dominating fashion. We are blowing teams away. We blew out the Chiefs, and now we blow out the Bills, and we are taking on the 7-seeded Panthers. Oh my God. This Panthers team is the team of dreams. Wow. Cam Newton is obviously developed, but they are a 9-8 team. There's no chance they can beat us. We are just by far a better team on paper. This is like how it was last year. We are in the Saints position this year. So hopefully we can get the job done and beat them pretty handily. I mean, we've blown out the 2 teams we played already. I would hopefully expect another blowout, but I guess we'll find out. It's Super Bowl time, back-to-back for us. Panthers lead 14-0 in the first quarter. We get a touchdown back. That's nice. We need the defense to step up. They allow a field goal. 14-17. We're fighting back. It's fourth quarter time. We get another touchdown on the board, but so do the Panthers. We get another touchdown on the board. It's 27-24, and we got the ball back. We're going to win the championship, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to happen. We did it. It was a little closer than I expected. I thought we'd blow them out, but that's Madden for you. but we get it done. It sucks that the jerseys aren't working for the Bengals, but hey, we got it done nonetheless. The Cincinnati Bengals are Super Bowl champions for the first time ever. This was a difficult rebuild. This was certainly a difficult rebuild. There was a lot of question marks, including that man right there, Andy Dalton, being maybe the biggest one. But we figured it out. We built the offensive line pretty amazingly, and then getting the I think getting the receivers right was the biggest thing that we needed to do, because we knew that AJ Green was going to be good. All we had to worry about with AJ Green was re-signing him, which took a lot of money away. Same thing with Andy Dalton. But all we needed to do was get the receivers right, and I knew Andy Dalton was going to develop. That's just how it works. So even losing Jermaine Gresham, which to be fair wasn't that big of a loss, he was only like an 81 overall, but even losing Jermaine Gresham turns out to not hurt us that bad, which is really, really good. I'm so happy that we got the receivers right. Getting Keenan Allen was a big pickup. Getting Devontae Adams was a big pickup. Even getting Kenny Stills was a big pickup, even though he didn't really factor in too much. He still was useful for us. And then on defense, obviously getting Khalil Mack was awesome, but we already had amazing D tackle in Geno Atkins. Andy Dalton wins the MVP of the Super Bowl. Rodgers wins another MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Luke Kuechly wins Defensive Player of the Year. Tyreek Hill, for the Saints, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Myles Jack for the Raiders is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Those are your awards. Let's take a look at development upgrades and wrap up this video. So, AJ Green is now an X Factor. Probably a little bit overdue, but he should have had it by now, like a while. And James White is up to an 85, playing up to an 85 though. Offensive line, I mean, we got Lane Johnson, but he didn't play a while because we had Andrew Whitworth. This offensive line is the same. We drafted Zach Martin, but he never started because we had Andre Smith. This is the exact same offensive line minus Andrew Whitworth that we had at the start, which is nice to see. We added, obviously, James White. We added Eddie Lacy. We added Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Kenny Stills. We needed to change the receivers. The receivers were shockingly bad. And then on defense, we got Deion Jones just this past season. I knew he was going to be an instant impact player. Kevin Pierre-Louis is always a solid pickup. So if you're doing any of these 2012 rebuilds with this mod, definitely draft Kevin Pierre-Louis when you have the opportunity to, because he's a stud. We kept Ray Maluga. We kept Vontez Burfict. The defensive line is similar to what it was. I mean, Carlos Dunlap is still here. Michael Johnson's still here. Geno Atkins is still here. We added Grady Jarrett and DJ Reader, although DJ Reader is a real-life Bengal. Khalil Mack we got, which was a massive early pickup. The corners we had to change a lot because the corners just sucked. And Byron Jones, by the way, is now an X Factor. So that's awesome. That was a huge, huge pickup too. We signed Sean Smith early on. We drafted Kendall Fuller, which is a good pickup. We kept Drake Kirkpatrick. We drafted Nickel Roby-Coleman. We changed this team a lot. But that's what happens when you have a really, really bad team. You got to change it a lot because the team is obviously really, really bad. So we drafted Jordan Poyer. He was a corner for a while. We moved him to safety. He started over Taylor Mays and ended up being better, obviously. And then we had Reggie Nelson for a while, but it looks like he's retired. But that's good because we're going to be done anyway. So this one was a little bit different than normal because we changed a lot of the team. Usually I like to keep the team pretty much the same as it was when we started, although adding a few different pieces here and there to obviously boost the team up. But this Bengals team was in desperate need of a complete makeover, and that's what we did. So we got a championship, the first one in Bengal history. It's nice to see. Andy Dalton is now a franchise quarterback and a Super Bowl winner, so let that sink in a little bit for you. But that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any other suggestions for teams you want to see me rebuild, whether it's in modern Madden, modern day Madden, or if it's back in 2012 or 2015 or in 1994, or if it's college or whatever it may be, let me know down below in the comments of any of my videos, but especially this one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.